Hello guys, I'm Pickles Parker and today I will be doing a rants and discussions video on my thoughts on the 13th Doctor's new costume that has just been announced by the BBC. Enjoy! The big question you're probably wondering is, seriously, 3 Doctor Who rants and discussions videos in a row? Now, I understand that it is quite a lot of Doctor Who on this channel recently, but there is a video that I've had some ideas on in the pipeline about a rants and discussions video on the downfall of the CW shows such as Arrow and Flash, and maybe a bit of Legends in there. But it's in the pipeline that I've had some ideas doing, but obviously more other videos have prioritised, but you may be seeing that sometime in the near future. But anyway, so the 13th Doctor's costume. Now, the concept of a female Doctor, I'll just go out there, I wasn't very happy at the time, and I wouldn't say I've warmed to the idea. I've just more or less just said that it's gonna happen, I just have to accept it now. So I'm not really like still there shouldn't be a female Doctor or anything. I just don't care really. I haven't warmed to the idea that some people have like warmed to the idea. I just accepted that it's gonna happen. I need to get over with it and just deal with it and sort of feel a bit excited. But anyway, so the costume. Now a picture was released by BBC, and here is the picture. So, the actual costume. Now I'm just going to put it out there, I'm not really a fan of this costume. Now I find it hard to summarise my actual thoughts about this costume because I didn't have any ideas of what I wanted it to be. Whereas with Capaldi's costume way back when, in 2013, I sort of had a sort of idea, so I could sort of compare it to the idea I had in my head and see, is it a good costume, is it not? I thought Capaldi's first costume was great, certainly in that first picture we were given. But anyway, staying on track, but I didn't really have an idea on my mind, so I wasn't really sure what to expect. So I find it incredibly bland and incredibly forgettable, yet it is too colourful. And you're probably wondering, bland doesn't exactly go with the word colourful, but hear me out. Now, it's way too colourful, there's too many colours chucked in there, but also I think they're used in such a bland way that they're just forgettable. Now, I don't mean bland as in Pete Davidson's costume, because that is the most bland costume you'll ever see, but I mean it's very forgettable, and it just looks like a normal person wouldn't wear it as such, but I think nobody would wear it, and I think sometimes that is the case with the Doctor, but I just think the colours just don't go together. And I think you may be thinking, well yeah, Colin Baker's costume doesn't go together, but I don't know whether the costume, it's been there for a long time, but for some reason for me, they kind of do. They don't go together so much that they do go together, this sort of thing. I sort of think the colours do sort of weirdly go together in his colour eccentric costume. But with this I just think there's a ton of random colours. You've got the blues, very dark blue, and then you've got very light green, you've got the yellows and the reds, and I think it's way too colourful. But I think, and they're used in a bland way. But I think they've chosen very bland colours as well. In some areas it's quite colourful, but there's just very bland also. I'm using the word bland quite a lot, but I just think it's a very forgettable costume. And I think it's hard because trying to picture what would it work on any of the other Doctors. But obviously, number 13 is the first female Doctor, so if you try and change it just slightly to try and fit a male Doctor and put it on them, it wouldn't work at all. and I think it slightly works better with obviously Jodie Whittaker wearing it than it would any other Doctor. But I'm still not a fan of the costume at all, and I'm not really a fan of it as a Doctor's costume. Now, I was looking at this and I was thinking, where is the variant point? Because as we know, every Doctor has his costume variants. They have their main costume, especially in the new series, their main costume, which they wear in their first couple of episodes, and the finale, and a few other episodes dotted around. But their costume changes, and I think you think, like with Matt Smith, it was always his bow tie that changed from red to blue, and sometimes his shirt changed if you talk about series 6 and 7 part 1. But I think the t-shirt will probably be variant point. They'll probably mix and match the t-shirts, so I'm not a fan of the t-shirt. I think that's one of the main bland areas of the costume. So if they change it and give her a few different t-shirts, then I can pick my favourite variant, if that's what I think they're going for, if that's what I think the variant point is. But yeah, I'm not really a fan of it, but we shall see. It may look better in action than it actually does here in this picture. It's hard to tell. So I really think we'll be able to get a solid opinion when we actually see it on screen all the way in autumn next year. But anyway, a sneaky little thing that they dropped in this little picture was the Tardis. Now if anybody just glanced at it, they'd say, it's Tardis, what's different about it? Well, we were told by Chibnall that we would be getting a new Tardis exterior as well as a new Tardis interior, and we've got one in this picture. Now I actually really like it. It harks to the Tardis exterior of the late 70s or the McGann movie Tardis exterior, which I really like. We've obviously got, it's definitely a more wooden feel. We've got a few more see-through window panels. The port open sign is a dark blue, as well as the police public call box, and you get the more police public call box is now integrated. Integrated is not really the right word. It's now depth. It's more 3D. It's not like it's just been printed. You've got the wood panels around it, and it's in like side the woods, which gives it a more 3D feel. And I was definitely looking through the old TARDIS exteriors. It definitely looks like they've definitely gone for the old classic TARDIS exteriors for inspiration for this new TARDIS exterior. And it's definitely a breath of fresh air from the two other TARDIS exteriors we've been given in the new series so far. So I really like that TARDIS exterior. And it's a nice hidden gem in the picture. It's not the main focus, but yet it's still very much there. So that's my thoughts. So what did you think? Comment below, let me know. Please like this video if you have enjoyed it, and if you want to see more content from my channel, then please hit subscribe. Goodbye.
So, hello Gary and Adam. So the Time Warrior. So ironic that this story is in season 11, as we did get some quite major news for the upcoming series 11. I love the medieval element to this story. The Sontarans look so good in black and silver, don't they? I love Pertwee's costume in this one. The green jacket with the bow tie. I really do like that. I love Lynx as a character, and he's portrayed brilliantly by Kevin Lindsay. It's Sarah Jane's first story. Now, Sarah Jane is my all-time favourite companion. You just can't beat her, and she's actually pretty good. Liz Sladen gives a pretty good performance in her first story, actually. I love Pertwee in this one. He puts in a really good performance. He's not one of my favourite Doctors, but he slowly creeps up that favourite Doctors list each time I see him more. I love Professor Rubus's character. He's played brilliantly by Donald Pemir, and the ending is satisfying. So of the other classic stories I've watched for the podcast, Horns and Nimon and Terminus, I wouldn't have minded if I just didn't finish it, but with this I just couldn't stop watching. The only negative I can find is sometimes the medieval guys were a bit over the top, but I love this story, 9 out of 10. See you guys next week.